I'm sure that, impacted, your mindset going into that 500 and only probably further made you want to make those dreams come true. I read the article in the Detroit papers the following day, and you didn't hold back that there was no happiness. I think you said, my parents hugged me and said they loved me and it doesn't matter right now, was something along the lines of your quote. I know you were really disappointed in not getting that 500 record, but you won the Class A state championship by 8 seconds, which is certainly notable. Yeah. What do you remember about that race, and what was still at the time the second fastest 500 freestyle in the history of the state of Michigan, and one that put you in the top 5 in America? There was a lot of great things that came from that.
No, it's easy as an adult to look back and be embarrassed or disappointed in something you said as a young person, and I certainly look back at those comments and I'm with reservation. At the time, it was the most important thing, and I didn't achieve my goal there, and I was disappointed in myself more than anything, right? Because that's one of the great things about swimming, right? All your success is dictated by you and only you. And you're in complete control of your happiness, your success, your perception of what you just did. And I just got punched in the face. Tom punched me in the face, and I tried to shake it off best I could. And actually, Ian had a plan. Ian was, in the lane next to me. And Mark DeRico was his challenger at the time. And so I actually hugged the lane marker for my brother Ian to try to bring him. We want to go 1-2. I mean, how has never happened, right? Me and my brother go 1-2. So I hugged the lane marker for the most of that race until I got farther enough ahead of him. Then I went to the other side to try to not hit him with my wake. And actually, Eastern's really good about being wakeless in general. But I moved to the other side of the pool, or other side of the lane, for my brother to have a more unobstructed swim. And I remember seeing everyone cheering and how excited I was. And I was confident I was going to do it. And I get to the 495 yards and drop my legs and come in and touch the wall 18/100ths short of my goal. So it was, it was disappointing for me at the time. And, you actually really got a good point in that, here I am, a young person being disappointed in something that I should be really excited about. And in hindsight, looking back on my life, how great of an experience that really was. And really, ultimately, it was an important learning experience, okay? You got to learn to deal with this stuff, and that's life. And throughout your life, if the worst thing that ever happens to you is you miss the state record in the 500 free, then you're a pretty lucky person. And I look back on that as a important point in my life, and it was disappointing at the time. But in retrospect, it was really a tremendous experience. And like you said, I just got the second fastest time in history in the state of Michigan, the 200 free and the 500 free on the same day. First and in second place in the same day. Who wouldn't be super excited about that? At the time, it was hard to understand because young people, I didn't have the vision and the foresight and the maturity to understand my position at the time. And I do now, I think, a little bit more. And I'm really proud of my career and experience. At the time, it was tough to swallow. And, I had a really good 100 free to finish that meet. And, it was a good meet. Tom Bailey had a great meet. Ron Orris had a great meet. I also had a great meet, just maybe just a little short of my goal. So,
that's what makes you you, and that's what makes many people on my list them. I not to summarize every interview that I've had, but my goodness, I mean, I can probably right off the top of my head give you 10 examples of state record swims that were disappointing to the swimmer when they did them. Clay Youngquist, when he went 420 in the 500 free, that wasn't enough. That wasn't his goal. That wasn't what he was trying to do that day, and I've heard many examples. Dan Stevenson, I mean, no swimmer in the history of the state of Michigan had ever gone under 144 in the 200 free, and Dan Stevenson went 141, and he told me the first thing he thought was, I wanted to go 140.
Yeah.
And that's a common denominator that even in great swims to the outside world, swims that in some cases become legendary swims, some swims that stood as records for a decade, were not satisfactory to the swimmer when they did them because they didn't meet their goals. Camden Murphy told me when he went 46.6 in the 100 butterfly to break the high school state record, his complete focus was on the NISCA National Championship, and he felt NISCA record, and he felt overwhelming disappointment that he had let others down, his teammates who hoped to see him break that national record, and he was filled with disappointment, you know. And I just think that that's what makes people like you, and you can't feel that from my chair until you have a chance in 1 month to talk to 26 legendary swimmers and see that common thread run through so many of the stories.
Well, it's important to rise above adversity, right? And every single athlete is going to lose a race, going to maybe not perform to the level that they expect or want or their goals. And that's what makes you want it more. Try harder, dig down deep, you know, motivate yourself with your failures. And you know, yeah, you got to keep it in perspective though. And it's hard to keep anything in perspective when you're a young person because you don't have that perspective yet. And you're right, it's taught me all the important things in life that, well, not all, but many of the important things in life I've learned from swimming and adversity and working hard. Like I keep using the term getting punched in the face. Sometimes that happens and you got to shake it off, you know, of course, proverbially. And it's going to happen at work. It's going to happen in your life. And you learn how to deal with that with swimming. But it's that motivation you get as an athlete from maybe not swimming as fast as you want or maybe not winning a race. My daughter just went through it her senior year in high school. You know, she same kind of experience. You know, she didn't achieve her goal and she was disappointed in her swim, but still, you know, state champion. And it's important that us as adults, as we learn and mature, help our young people to understand how critical and awesome those experiences are, and that it's maybe not obvious right now, and you're disappointed right now, but hopefully later on in life you'll be able to have the maturity to see how important that was. And those losses are really what hopefully makes us be better people.
And certainly for you, a better coach, right? I mean, that's a big part of coaching is relatability, you know, and you're, you know, taking setbacks. Those are tools for you now that you can use every day. And that is really important. Great perspective.